Hello everyone. Welcome back to our little tarot corner. Allie from Toe Tarot here, and it is Sunday. That means it is time for another Sunday sit down with Playful Pondering. This week I am going to use my Moon Power Tarot as our main deck, and I'm going to use the Kim Cran's Wild Unknown archetype cards as our larger card up here, and our good old standbys, Sawyer's Path Tarot, Sawyer's Lenormand tiles, and points to ponder dice. So I kind of felt this week like we would do something a little intergalactic, a little spacey, so why not? Let's start with our tarot card here in the middle. I hope you are all having a wonderful, wonderful week this week. Oh, okay, we get a choice. So we've either got the Four of Pentacles or the Two of Cups. You know what? No. Let's see if we can get one solid card here. All right. The Sun. The Sun. Love that card. Never a sad day when the sun comes out to play, right? And then let's get an archetype card. I did trim this deck a little bit. It typically has white borders around it, but I went ahead and cut those off so that I could just have more of the artwork without some of the white border. Plus, it makes it easier to fit on these spaces at the tops of my boards here. Again, as always, by the lovely Jamie Sawyer. All right, let's see. Let's go for this one. All right, so the Venom. Interesting combination. So what I will do is I'm actually going to read the entry from the book for the Venom card, just because I feel like the message there is enough to resonate with alone. Kind of its own separate point for us to ponder. So let's see what the book has to say. All right, so the Venom. Much to our dismay, the Venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence, here, let me show you guys here. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and the world. When the Venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. So, I feel like, to me, maybe this week we've been blocking our sun a little bit. Maybe we've been kind of caught up in our negative thoughts and negative emotions, and it's kind of keeping us from reaping all the benefits of the sun. So, very, very curious. So why are we blocking ourselves? Let's see what our Sawyer's Path Tarot tiles have to say here on the sides. You know, it is kind of easy to sabotage your happiness, right? I did a reading for someone this week, and it was kind of all about focusing on the bad before it even goes wrong. So you're kind of so mentally in tuned to what can go wrong that you're not even open to what could go right. So it kind of feels like the same kind of energy here for us. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Emperor. The King of Pentacles. And a Four of Pentacles. So this may kind of be an issue that you're working through with someone who you see as kind of in a position of authority. It may be that you've got some strong male energy that is kind of poisoning your environment, or maybe it's you yourself channeling those kinds of energies but not in the right way. Maybe kind of being less of a leader and more assertive than necessary, to where it maybe doesn't foster the best results in your environment. So let's see what the other ones have to bring in, and then we'll kind of try to put it all together. So we have the Six of Wands, Knight of Swords, and the Four of Cups. So now I'm kind of feeling a little different. Now it kind of feels to me like sorry, I'm just kind of gathering my thoughts here. It's almost, now it feels like it's almost, you are hesitant to become the leader. You're hesitant to step into that role because of maybe role models that you've had in the past, or people who have been in those positions of power and perhaps abused them. And so you are not necessarily in the best mental place to want to step into that power and kind of make it your own and be different. It's kind of, I get the sense that we're afraid of repeating patterns, it looks like. But it does look, though, like we have victory ahead of us if we can only match the way that we speak and the way that we act with our positive intentions with this sun. It seems right now like we've taken disinterest or kind of stepped back from things with that Four of Cups, but in reality, we need to kind of be bold enough to step into that power and to realize that maybe if we do come into a place where we do have some sort of authority, or if we come into any position where we are communicating with or working with someone else, that our words do matter, and our words and the way that we speak and the way that we act, the energy that we bring into the situation, all of those things matter. And if we want to see the positivity, if we want to see things change, if we want to see a good outcome for whatever situations we find ourselves in, we need to be cognizant of the way that we've experienced that in the past, and we need to work on changing them for ourselves moving forward and being able to separate ourselves from the negativity that we've seen and be different so that we can bring something positive into this situation. I really don't know if that made any sense. It does to me in my brain, but I don't feel like I'm communicating it well. So let me step back and try and phrase it another way, just because I feel like I'm a little all over the place right now. So yeah, so to kind of start over, there's some sort of leadership essence, someone who we maybe admire or look up to, that maybe isn't providing the best kind of environment for people to foster growth. It may also be ourselves. It may be that you are in a position where you can kind of control the way the situation goes. Even if you're not literally in a position of power, you are, just as a human being, just in your own life, you can take control of the way that you respond to situations and the way that you react to situations. And that's actually what I now we're coming full circle, Allie. If you're still here watching, thank you. Thank you for bearing with me. Any situation that you find yourself in this week, realize that you have ultimate authority as to what comes out of your mouth. You have ultimate authority as to how you respond. So I feel like this week it's all about being cognizant of the environment that we want to create, being cognizant of the environment that we want to foster and the way that we want to see things happen this week, being very, very decisive and clear with our communication, and keeping that in our minds that we need to communicate in a positive way, yet constructive, but positive way, so that we can see the positive outcomes and the benefit rather than cause harm in our relationships this week. That was really, really roundabout, but I think we finally made our point. I'm so sorry, guys. Again, if you're still watching and if that made sense to you, thank you, and I'm sorry. So now let's pull some Lenormand tiles for down below. All right, so we have stork, bear, and cross. So to me, this kind of seems like a little bit of a call for us, again, to be cognizant of how we interact this week. When we look at this stork, it's all about moving on, fresh starts, the chances that we have this week to create what we want to see, right? And the bear is all about protectiveness, right? That motherly nature and being courageous and strong. And so keeping in mind that we have a chance to bring in new change if we are strong enough and kind enough and courageous to deal with the things that we need to deal with so that we can bring those positive things in. Meaning, you have the power to put those things behind you and be new. So even if you have been struggling in lots of communications lately, even if you have been trying to improve and maybe it's not always been easy, right? There's lots going on in the world, so it's easy to not be positive all the time, but you have the power to make it different and make it positive if you are willing to kind of acknowledge the things that are there and respond to them differently to usher in that change. So now let's bring in some points to ponder. All right. So we have ground, speak, how, and teach. So again, this week it's all about refocusing on the way that we want to interact in our environment, being cognizant of what we are bringing to the people around us. So we need to ground ourselves and really focus on how it is that we want to go about our lives this week, how we want to go about presenting ourselves, and how we go about the environments that we create. And again, be cognizant of how you speak. Be mindful of the way that you're interacting with other people. Are you bringing in the positivity, or are you speaking negatively into people's lives? And also teach. I feel like this is a great lesson for us to learn right now. Sometimes it is a gentle reminder to say, hey, things may be difficult in our personal lives, but we do have the opportunity to control how we respond and control the way that we put ourselves out. Even if we're going through something, that does not mean that we need to take that negative energy and radiate it to other people, right? We have that opportunity to change those things. So this week, I think going forward, just keep this in the back of your mind. Are you speaking with venom, or are you speaking with sunshine? That was really cheesy, but I think that really kind of makes everything make sense. So thank you so much in particular this week for tolerating my ramblings. I hope that this resonated with you at all. If it did, please feel free to let me know down below. And thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.